Next, we will now begin the first presentation of the e-poster competitions with the topic of effects of smoking mothers towards fetus. I welcome you, Abdul Rahman bin Zainal Abidin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul bin Zainal Abidin and I'll be representing Group 5 for this occasion. And the topic of our presentation is the effect of smoking mothers towards fetus. Without further ado, everybody knows the danger of smoking or at least heard of it. And yet it has become a very common action in the society, even for mothers who bear the responsibility of another life alongside hers. What can happen if a pregnant mother smokes? Some of the common effects that can be seen are miscarriage, stillbirth and preterm birth, ectopic pregnancy, placenta abruption and placenta previa, low birth weight and also birth defects. What are the contents of cigarette that causes these harmful effects on the fetus? Tobacco and nicotine. They can damage the developing brain and lungs of the fetus. Next is the effects of maternal smoking towards fetus. What are to be expected that the fetus will experience if its mother smokes? They are fetal growth restriction. Exposure to tobacco smoke in utero has been related with changes in DNA methylation of gene, which is associated with growth restriction. Brain development and functions. The baby may be birthed with microcephaly, which is a reduction in brain size. Later, obesity and metabolic disorders. Later in the future, risk of acquiring obesity will increase. The nicotine can also alter the hypothalamic regulatory mechanism, which is related to one's metabolism. Later, cardiovascular outcome. The child may develop hypertension, hyperreactive autonomic system, and also different parasympathetic and sympathetic control. Respiratory outcome. Smoking can increase the risk of wheezing, asthma, impaired lung function, and also bronchitis. Looking in deeper, what does smoking do to the body? The cigarette contains more than 7,000 chemicals, which endangers most of our organs and can cause health conditions such as cancers, heart and lung diseases, and addiction, which will just increase the risk of previous condition. For the pregnancy, the mother should be prepared for preterm labor, ectopic pregnancy, and problem with placenta. Furthermore, the substances will also be passed down to the baby. This leads to the baby being born prematurely or having birth defects such as cleft palate. The baby may also have low birth weight and increase in SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome. Finally, here are some tips for the mothers to quit smoking during pregnancy. First of all, consulting to the doctor. The doctor are more aware about the situation than most mothers do. Thus, it's best for them to follow the instruction. Second, practicing a healthy lifestyle. Third, asking for support from the loved one, such as your family, husband, your friends. Fourth, using nicotine replacement therapy. Fifth is changing to e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes may be a less harmful alternative, although there are still risks, just lesser. And last but not least, they could just completely stop smoking.
Thank you, Abdul Rahman, for an excellent presentation. We will now continue with the next presentation. I would love to welcome Dr. Li to present the second e-poster on the topic Blastocystis species, evidence for its occurrence in water sources. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good afternoon to all professors, ladies and gentlemen. Blastocystis is a common parasite infecting the intestine of humans and animals. The organism is transmitted through fecal-oral route. This parasite has been proposed to be a waterborne pathogen in 2004 by WHO. The present study used in vitro cultivation to examine 5 types of water, namely drinking water, river, filtered, lake and tap water within Malaysia for the possible presence of Blastocystis species. In total, 246 samples consisting of 1 liter each from various water sources were collected from July 2008 to February 2009 from different states within West Malaysia, including Johor, Kuala Lumpur, Melaka, Negeri Sembilan, Selangor, and Perak. This includes 87 bottled drinking water, 98 river water samples, 14 filtered water samples, 24 lake water samples, and 23 tap water samples. Water samples were centrifuged at 1400 G at room temperature for 10 minutes to obtain water concentrates, which were subsequently subjected to in vitro cultivation in Jones medium, supplemented with 10% horse serum and incubated at 30 degrees C. All cultures were examined for the presence of vacuolar form of Blastocystis species for the next 3 days consecutively using light microscope at 400 times magnification. Overall, 23.6% of samples were contaminated by Blastocystis species. All of them were river samples collected within Selangor State and Kuala Lumpur. These are the examples of rivers that were contaminated with the parasite, and these rivers are situated in the heart of commercial squares. To the best of our knowledge, this is the first comprehensive survey carried out to report the occurrence of Blastocystis species in various water sources. This study suggests that water sources contaminated by Blastocystis species could be a potential reservoir for possible waterborne transmission of the parasite to humans that frequent the rivers to have recreational activities, as published by other researchers who found the parasites in Chongkat River, a recreational park in Selangor, and Krau River, which is situated near an Aboriginal village in Temerloh, Pahang. The Aborigines frequent daily to this river for bathing, water activities, and cleaning of clothes. In conclusion, Blastocystis species contaminated river water sample and may potentially pose public health risks. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Dr. Lee, for the very informative and interesting poster. Last but not least, we will continue with our final speaker of the e-poster competition, Professor Dr. Zolkepli bin Haji Yahaya, on the topic of knowledge, attitude, and practice regarding diabetes type 2 in UniSHAMS. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Professor Dr. Zolkepli.
Hi everybody, I'm going to present our study on knowledge, attitude and practice, KAP, regarding risk factors of type 2 diabetes in UniSHAMS. As per the introduction, 1 in 5 national adults, which is about 3.9 million people aged 18 years and above, suffer from diabetes. 8.9% of the whole population do not know that they have diabetes. Awareness of the risk factors of diabetes to prevent the increased incidence of diabetes and its complications. The objective of the study was to assess KAP among UniSHAMS community regarding risk factors, namely unhealthy diet, excessive tobacco consumption, genetics, underlying medical condition, and lack of physical activities of type 2 diabetes. The methodology involved the type of research design, sampling, research tools, and data. For the type of research design, it is cross-sectional and analytical study conducted from 29th of March to 10th of July 2021. For the sampling method was convenient sampling, involved samples of 110. The questionnaires were in Google form and distributed in link and QR code via WhatsApp and Telegram. The data was collected in Microsoft Excel and analyzed with IBM SPSS Statistic 22.0 version, and the statistic method was descriptive analysis and chi-square test. Results. As you can see from the descriptive analysis, it told us the knowledge, attitude, and practice of the respondents. As per the knowledge, no significant relationship between lack of physical activity, unhealthy diet, high tobacco consumption, genetic with age, gender, education level, and students or staff. As per the attitude, there was significant relationship between unhealthy diet and education level, between genetic and students or staff, between underlying medical condition and education level. For the practice, there was significant relationship between lack of physical activity, gender, between unhealthy diet, and student or staff, between high tobacco consumption, and gender, between genetic and students or staff. Discussion. There was significant relationship between knowledge and attitude with practice. Despite acquiring proper knowledge and attitude on the risk factors of type 2 diabetes, the population of UniSHAMS made unsatisfactory effort in their practice. Conclusion. The majority showed good knowledge, positive attitude, and satisfactory practice. The knowledge was significantly correlated with attitude and practice towards the risk factors of type 2 diabetes. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Zolkepli, for the outstanding presentations. Well, I am glad to see we can conclude our session for today. Hence, I would like to thank everyone for staying with me throughout the sessions and for the attentions. I hope we are all blessed with the new knowledge and be able to share and spread it with everyone else. Next agenda, we will continue with the award and closing ceremony held in room C. While waiting for the award announcement and closing ceremony, we will have a break for a while and to allow final marking by the judges. We are hoping to see you again in room C. Once again, on behalf of the committee, thank you all for your participation in this conference, especially to all the judges and speakers. I hope everyone enjoyed the session. Finally, I wish you all a great day. Stay safe at home. Goodbye and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.